was the boy. You can say something. I'm back for to it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and you always watch the full video.
DJ Daniels. This is him when he was doing the show.
Okay.
Okay, you remember that, right?
Okay, I did.
Cute kid, 10
Yeah.
years old. This is what he looks like now.
God damn. Woo! It's a big game. Is that tattoos all over his face?
Those are tattoos all over his face. What made you have
Yeah,
that
I was-
decision to start tattooing
What?
Your face?
In my mind, I was done acting.
I was never just his his TV dad. He was my kid.
Once you tattoo your face, bro. Mind you, I like tattoos too. I love tattoos. But once you put them over your face, you can still have a regular life depending on what type of life that you're trying to live. But acting, unless you gonna play the gangster roles, it's a few. I don't know if I ever seen some black people do it. I know I've seen some Samoans do it. I've seen some Hispanics do it. But the one I'm thinking about, his face not tatted. He's completely tatted, like from wrist to the chin, I guess, or the other chin or whatever. But I don't think his face is tatted. So yeah. But still, I think you have to play like the extra grimy gangster person in a movie. Them probably be the only role that you're probably going to get. Other than that, you gonna have to work a warehouse job. And even when you go to your interview, they gonna be scared too. Like, tatted your face. That's scary to kind of look at.
And I should have said something. And the one thing I felt instantly was guilty.
From a clean-cut young boy to a gangster, DJ Daniels' story took a turn that many didn't see coming. It's a tale we've seen before. Promising child stars hitting rock bottom. DJ Daniels, once a young man with a bright future, found his path darkening over time, leading to one misfortune after another. Born on October 17, 1988, in Montclair, California, DJ spent his first 2 years in Compton before his father moved the family to the Inland Empire. DJ, affectionately known as DJ, grew up in Fontana. His parents, recognizing his potential, began taking him to acting auditions at a young age. It didn't take long for him to land his first gig. At just 5 years old, DJ starred in a Honey Nut Cheerios commercial. This was just the beginning of his journey in the entertainment world. Soon after, DJ appeared in a McDonald's Deluxe Space Jam commercial alongside none other than Michael Jordan. His career was off to a promising start, and he began making minor appearances in shows like Grace Under Fire and In the House, which starred LL Cool J for DJ. Acting alongside LL Cool J was surreal because he and his father were huge fans of the rapper-turned-actor. After In the House was canceled, DJ continued to land roles in popular TV shows. He appeared in Coach, Family Matters, and The Wayans Bros. These roles eventually led to his big break on The Huleys, a show that followed the lives of a black family moving from the inner city to suburban Los Angeles. On the show, DJ played the son of D.L. Hughley. The Huleys ran from 1998 to 2002, spanning 4 seasons before it was canceled. Even after The Huleys, DJ continued to secure acting roles. He appeared in shows like ER, The Bernie Mac Show, Sky High, Cold Case, and Fireflies. However, after Fireflies, DJ's acting career hit a standstill. Around this time, his parents went through a divorce which had a profound impact on him. DJ began skipping school and his grades started to plummet.
I said it before, when kids gotta understand, like, your parents' relationship is not yours. I understand that they're your parents, you want them to be together and everything, and certain things happen, especially when, like, all right, you say you got a 2-parent household, that's probably a nice, decent income. Now everything is separated, so therefore the income ain't the same, the living situation ain't the same. But besides that, like, their relationship has nothing to do with you. That's their relationship. 2 people are so sadly not always meant to be together.
Academic decline affected his ability to land new acting roles, as passing grades were a requirement for child actors. When DJ was 19, he started getting face tattoos, a move that most actors would probably never consider.
What made you have that decision to start tattooing your face?
In my mind, I was done acting.
For most actors, their face is their most important asset and primary
God.
source of income, so they take excellent care of it. But for DJ, things were different. He felt his acting career was over, so he began filling his face with tattoos. This was partly because he was frustrated with not booking.
But then it's like, if the kid roles part was over, but if you wanted to still be all right, 100% done with acting, because whatever reason, tatting your face, that makes it again hard for a normal life. Like like when people see tattoos over your face, you either a gangster, they gonna people might think you worship something evil, or you're a rock star. And I had to separate the evil and the rock star because you into rock does not mean you into that. But bro, like, you're not working at McDonald's, you're not working at CVS, you're not working at. I mean, if you work for CVS, you're working in the back. They're not gonna have you on the cash register. Like, even though like that's regular life, but like that's regular life.
Roles.
It's
Even
over,
his
bro.
agents had turned their backs on him.
By the time I wasn't doing my grades and stuff, and I wasn't getting no more gigs, and even my agents was like, all right, we ain't messing with you. I had already put it in my head like, hey, I'm done with acting. I wasn't really getting the gigs that I wanted.
DJ felt like he had become another victim of typecasting in Hollywood. After spending 4 years as a kid on the Huleys, he found it nearly impossible to land any parts as an adult.
And I was getting other type of gigs, so I wasn't really feeling the acting. I was doing it since I was 5.
Right, because you're typecast in a way as the little kid.
During this tough period, DJ reconnected with his roots in Compton. He started hanging out with Bop and the Ludak Park Pirates, a black American gang on the east side of Compton, despite being done with acting.
The what? What? That I know for sure that's not their name.
The Ludak Park Pirates.
The Ludak Park Pirates. Wow, Luda Park
A
Pyru,
black
my
American
boy.
gang on the east side of Compton.
That's crazy.
Despite being done with acting, DJ believed he still had a bright future ahead of him and was trying to make a name for himself in the rap industry. Unfortunately, things took a dark turn on August 5th, 2011, at around 2 a.m. DJ was at a sports bar in Stockton with several friends, including Joanne and Marcus. As the night went on, DJ, Joanne, and Marcus began throwing up gang signs at another group in the bar. This group included JJ, Ashley, Kendra, Armad, and Aaron. JJ and his friends were allegedly affiliated with the Crips, while DJ and his crew were Bloods. When the bar closed, gunfire was heard from down the street, unrelated to any of the parties involved. This caused everyone to hurry out of the area. The tension was already high, and this added chaos set the stage for what would become a night from hell. After leaving the bar, JJ saw Marcus, DJ, and Joanne walking in the street and heard them calling out gang language. Marcus, with his fists clenched, approached JJ and asked him where he was from. JJ responded, "Bro, I ain't got nothing to do with that." But Marcus wasn't having it. He took a fighting stance, and DJ, along with Dwayne, who was also standing there, began moving to JJ's side as if to surround him. Several members from JJ's group rushed to his aid, and a physical altercation broke out between the two groups. The fight escalated quickly and violently. JJ ended up being stabbed multiple times, and his friend Taylor, who tried to protect him during the attack, was also slashed.
A young man by the name of JJ ended up getting stabbed.
Rest in peace.
The night, which had already taken a bad turn, became even worse, marking a significant downward spiral in DJ's life. JJ was put into a car and driven to the 500 block of Garfield Avenue, where they waited for the ambulance. But even the ambulance had trouble getting onto the street due to more gunfire happening further down the block.
Oh yeah,
Sadly,
they not
JJ
coming
Lewis
for none of
died at the
that.
hospital that night. Before this tragic incident, DJ had already had a few run-ins with the law, including outstanding misdemeanor warrants, possession of marijuana, and driving without a license. But those minor charges would soon pale in comparison to what he was about to face. Just a few hours after the murder, DJ was arrested and charged with premeditated murder, gang activity, and other crimes. DJ's attorney quickly filed a motion to dismiss the charges, arguing that DJ didn't know a fight was going to break out and that he wasn't the one who brandished the knife or stabbed JJ. If this motion had been granted, it would have ended DJ's legal troubles. But unfortunately for DJ, the motion was denied. Prosecutors insisted that DJ and his friends had been flashing gang signs, making the look like a rival gang hit, according to Vlad TV on YouTube. DJ was only 21 at the time of the stabbing, and the first-degree murder charge alone carried a minimum sentence of 25 years and a maximum of life behind bars if found guilty.
Were you facing life in prison?
Yeah.
And you're how old at the time?
Bro, just needed some help, bro. He more likely, because like, he needed somebody to help him to guide you away from that, because like, you're in a limelight, making $millions or whatever he was making as a kid. Now you're not living that lifestyle no more. So you go take the gang lane. That wasn't the route to take.
21.
That for sure was not the route. If you're already down, why would you take another L?
But he was determined to fight
No,
the
that's-
charges.
that goes
DJ
even down.
moved forward with a jury trial that began toward the end of 2012. In a surprising turn of events, DL Hewley took the stand as a character witness for DJ, vouching for his former TV son and discussing the finer points of DJ's life.
Leading up to the trial, DL, you actually came in as a character witness.
Sure.
Okay. Whose idea was that?
Well, I would have came anyway.
DL, how long after the incident did you find out what happened?
The next day.
The next day.
Right. And I should have grabbed his little that night. I should have. I was never just his his TV dad. He was my kid to me, and I should have said something. And the one thing I felt instantly was guilty.
Hewley was candid about his own past ties to the Bloods when questioned, which brought its own set of complications. Authorities tried to paint DJ as part of the same gang, suggesting that Hewley's testimony was just one blood backing up another.
One of the things that they were trying to prove was that DJ was a gang member.
Right.
He was a Blood.
Right.
You yourself were a former Blood.
Right.
So they probably are making it look like, okay, this is
that's
some gang.
That's
One
what
blood standing up for another blood, regardless of guilt.
Right.
According to record,
Yeah, if I was DL, I wouldn't went for that
determined
either.
that DJ's 26-year-old friend Marcus McClyman was the one who stabbed JJ Lewis. This revelation led to the jurors acquitting DJ and another co-defendant, 27-year-old Dwan Nunley of all.
Even though DL came with, he had his gang ties too. But if you look at if you see a person used to be recognized as a kid or as a young man, and then they changed their life up and he became who DL is, that shows a major accomplishment though. And if this person is trying to speak for them, hopefully this person is trying to get this person to do what they did. Because if you see it, come on. Like, yeah, all right, just because you come from the streets, you have street ties, does not mean that you can't change your life up. That's why a million actors, rappers, famous people whether street ties or not, but they probably did something bad in their past, and then they changed their life up. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a past, bro. I went to jail for strong arm robbery. Would I do that today? Hell to the no.
Charges. On the stand, McClyman
Hell
took
no,
full
bro. I ain't-
responsibility
I
for
ain't
his
doing
death,
that. That's
absolving
shit
DJ and Nunley of
Hell
any
nah.
wrongdoing. According to Vlad TV on YouTube, McClyman was acquitted of first-degree charges but was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. While DJ and Nunley were able to walk free, McClyman was remanded into custody and sent to prison to serve an 11-year sentence.
After 3 days of deliberation, the jury read a non-guilty verdict. How did that feel?
Sweet and sour. They got to tell me that I'm going home, but my big homie, my brother, they telling me he's staying.
That's
He
Marcus.
stabbed somebody.
These days, DJ Daniels leads a quiet life, and it's still uncertain whether he'll ever get another shot at his acting career. Hollywood, unfortunately, has its fair share of tragic tales involving child actors whose lives and careers took nosedives. Sometimes, it's just a matter of these kids not being able to secure roles as they grow older.
It'd be that for sure. And then they don't know, like, mind you, not saying that that they was spoon fed everything, grew up with a silver spoon or whatever, but sometimes when you're a kid, right? Mind you don't have no responsibilities. So therefore you living a well off life. Now them roles are over, so therefore the money ain't hitting the way it used to. So now you're grown, so you're not seeing the money that you was hearing about or knowing that you was getting when you was a kid. Now you're getting some chump change. Now you ain't getting them roles. So now you gotta adjust and grind from the bottom back to the top. And a lot of them don't know how to do that. Some of them, their pride might be up too high. Like, no, I'm not gonna go work a regular job and try to get another acting gig. They don't want to do that. They're like, no, if I ain't getting right back to it, I'm gonna just go live on the streets. I'm gonna just go become a complete bum, and that's never the role. Like, even if you can't get them roles, you gotta go live the life that we live. It ain't the greatest, but it's something better than nothing.
And their cuteness fades. But other times, the stories take a much darker turn, involving serious allegations and crimes that abruptly end their careers. Let's start with Orlando Brown. Back in the early 2000s, Orlando Brown was a familiar face on the Disney Channel, playing Eddie Thomas on the hit show That's So Raven. He had the charm and talent to captivate audiences, but in recent years, his name has been more associated with legal troubles and substance abuse. In 2016, TMZ reported that Brown was arrested in Torrance, California, for assaulting his then-girlfriend in a police station parking lot, of all places. Brown had driven to the station during an argument, where a witness saw the altercation and alerted the authorities. When the police apprehended and locked him up, they found methamphetamine on him. This led to charges of drug possession with intent to sell, having contraband in jail, and domestic battery.
Yeah, that was dumb. It seemed like if you were smart enough to say, all right, we're arguing, this is going bad, let me drive to the police station, you should have kept going. Got out of the car, stopped arguing. If she's pushing, and just do that. Take the hits, keep walking, get to the police. Hey, help, please. If you drove there, something in your mind was like, yeah, I don't want to put my hands on her. I don't want this to go too far, so let me go get somebody that can stop this situation. And you stopped in the parking lot. You should have kept going into the station.
Get out! Get out! Down now! Down now! Down now! Show me your put him behind your back now! You got a warrant for your arrest. Show me your hands!
Fast forward 2 years, and Brown found himself in trouble again. This time, he was arrested in Las Vegas for burglary after changing the locks at Legends Restaurant and Venue, which was owned by former Death Row Records singer Danny Boy. Brown was caught on camera entering the kitchen before covering the lens with a rag.
Oh, come on, bro. What are you doing? I've never seen this.
TMZ reported that Brown and Danny Boy were once friends, and Danny Boy pressed charges thinking it might help Brown get back on track. Additionally, in 2014, audio surfaced that allegedly captured Brown's voice threatening a woman, saying, "I'll K you, your mama, your daughter, everybody." Brown denied it was him and claimed the woman was a stalker. Despite all these issues, in 2021, Brown announced that he had overcome his drug addiction after attending a Christian-based rehab facility. It was a hopeful turn in his tumultuous life, but his journey serves as a stark reminder of how fame and fortune can lead to a downward spiral. Next up is Marcus T. Paulk, known for his role as the mischievous little brother Miles Mitchell on the 90s sitcom Moesha. In 2013, Paulk made headlines for all the wrong reasons when he walked into a Los Angeles jail and turned himself in. He was accused of punching and kicking his girlfriend, Andy Rocks, so severely that she needed hospital treatment for internal injuries. TMZ reported that the former couple started arguing in a Beverly Hills nightclub because Paulk felt Rocks wasn't paying him enough attention. The argument continued at their home, where Paulk allegedly assaulted her. 3 months later, Paulk faced charges of domestic violence and battery, staring down the possibility of a 4-year prison sentence. However, in 2014, he took a plea deal and avoided jail time. Instead, he agreed to attend a year-long treatment program for domestic violence and was ordered to stay at least 100 yards away from Rocks.
I don't see how niggas do that, boy. I am not putting my hands on no female, bro. I'm good. Like, it is. You should feel weak, like, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of Paulk's legal troubles. Just 1 year after dodging jail time, he was arrested in Scottsdale, Arizona, the night before the Super Bowl for DUI and possession of marijuana.
Scottsdale police arrested former child actor Marcus
Man.
Polk. Police say Polk was under the influence of marijuana and alcohol when they pulled him over.
Polk later pleaded guilty
Besides
to the
the
DUI
driving part,
charge,
yeah, you
while
shouldn't
the
be
weed
driving,
charge
but-
was dropped. He was sentenced to 12 months of probation and had to complete an alcohol program. Having started out strong with roles in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then moving on to shows like Supernatural, iZombie, and Riverdale, it looked like Ryan Grantham had a promising acting career ahead of him, but things took a shockingly dark turn. In September 2022, Ryan was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of his 64-year-old mother, Barbara Wade. He was charged with second-degree murder, which in Canada
What?
means an automatic life sentence. The only question for the judge was how long before Ryan would be eligible for parole. The decision? He won't even get a shot at parole until 2036. According to CBC News, this tragic event unfolded on March 31st, 2020, when the then 21-year-old actor shot his mother with a rifle while she was playing the piano in their Squamish, British Columbia home. What he did next was
No. You're not a kid. Kid, you know that they say, like, you know, when you're 13, 14, whatever, your mind not fully developed. You were 21. She wasn't doing nothing to you. She was playing the piano, and then he's about to say something that you did worse after the fact. No, hell no. No parole for you, bro, boy. No parole. Hell
deeply
no.
disturbing. Ryan filmed himself confessing to showing Barbara's body in the footage. The next day, he lit candles around her covered body and hung rosary beads from her piano. Then he loaded up his car with weapons and headed towards Ottawa, reportedly planning to kill Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
This adorable child star is facing serious
Life.
allegations.
Ain't no
Hi,
parole.
Ryan Grantham.
Now he's just pled guilty to shooting his own mother in British Columbia. And he also allegedly had plans to assassinate Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
But that
No.
wasn't his only plan.
Ain't no
Ryan
parole
also
for you.
intended to open fire at his school, Simon Fraser University. Instead,
what?
he ended up at the Vancouver Police Department, where he confessed to the. During his sentencing in 2022, Ryan expressed deep remorse, saying, "I cannot explain or justify my actions. I have no excuse. It hurts me to think about how badly I've wasted my life." Then there's Jeremy Jackson, who found fame at the young age of 10 playing Hobie Buchanan on Baywatch. By the time he was 35, his life had taken a violent turn. In 2015, he was arrested for stabbing a woman in her arm, legs, and back in Los Angeles. The incident occurred when
For
Jackson
what?
allegedly tried to steal a car belonging to the woman's boyfriend. He was later found at a hotel and charged with assault with a deadly weapon and making criminal threats. Jackson managed to post bail and headed straight to a rehab facility.
Officers were called to a burglary suspect call in the Westlake district. There, they reportedly found Jackson running from the area and detained him. Police say Jackson matched the description of a man wanted for a stabbing.
In 2017,
That's
Jeremy Jackson
wild.
received a 270-day sentence in LA County Jail and 5 years probation after.
Hell to the no.
2017, Jeremy Jackson received a 270-day.
Hell to the no. This is processing, y'all. This is processing. Look at the dude on the floor. They been in there so long, they gave these niggas covers. Like, we know it's more likely that means it's no bed for you. So you're gonna be here for a while. Might as well get comfortable. Do y'all want to go through this? Hell to the no. Trust me. Jail is not clean. It ain't the place to be. You're literally around, like, you know how in movies, when you hear somebody is a person who unalived other people, can't say the words, but you get what I mean. You want to stay away from that person. They put you in the cell with them people.
A sentence in LA County Jail and 5 years probation after pleading no contest to the charges. This was a far cry from his days of Baywatch glory. During an episode of AS Child Star Confidential, he explained how his early success led him down a dangerous path. "I probably made over $2 to $3 million from Baywatch. I had the means to destroy myself. I had a lot of money, and I had a lot of people around me that weren't really my friends, but I thought they were. And I totally got sucked into a downward spiral of a lifestyle. He said his drug of choice? Crystal meth, which sent his life into a serious tailspin. And then there's Lilo Brancato, who burst onto the scene with his role in A Bronx Tale in 1993 when he was just 17. He followed up with roles in Crimson Tide and The Sopranos. But in 2009, Brancato was sentenced to 10 years in prison. 4 years earlier, in 2005, he attempted to break into the house of a friend, Kenneth Scovodi, to get drugs. Unbeknownst to Brancato.
Bro, look like he look like what's that shit called? The robot thing. Damn, that robot movie. I remember when we was kids, when he finally took the mask off, bro. That's what bro looked like.
And his accomplice
That's crazy.
Stephen Armento. Scovodi had
What was the
passed
name of
away
that movie?
months
You
earlier.
Robot something.
During the break-in, they were
Robot
confronted
Cop.
by a 28-year-old off-duty police officer, Daniel Nchautagui, who lived next door. Armento shot and K-worded the officer, earning himself a life sentence. Brancato, who claimed he didn't know Armento had a gun, faced charges.
Actor Lilo Brancato was once a rising star in Hollywood, known for his role in A Bronx Tale in the 90s. But he was plagued by addiction and legal troubles, spending time in jail.
Although he was convicted of attempted burglary. The judge acknowledged the gravity of the situation, noting that a brave young police officer had lost his life as a result of Brancato's actions. Brancato served his time and was released in 2013, attempting to revive his acting career. Edward Furlong's story is another cautionary tale. He skyrocketed to fame as a child star alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2. However, as he grew older, drugs took a serious toll on his career, and he had multiple run-ins with the law. In 2013, he was arrested for allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend in West Hollywood. The woman had a protective order.
Like, besides this part, but like, the substance abuse. That be a lot of people downfall because like you already had this addiction, but it's minor because you don't have that much money. You semi broke. Once they get the money, it's over.
Against him, which Furlong violated during the assault. He ended up serving just under 3 months in jail. Although he pleaded no contest to domestic violence, 6 other charges were dropped as part of a plea deal. These included dissuading a witness by force and vandalism since he had smashed the woman's laptop during the incident. He was given 5 years probation, ordered to attend domestic violence counseling, and had to complete a 90-day drug rehabilitation program. In a 2022 interview with the Daily Mail, Furlong shared that he had been sober for 4 years. He managed to kick his drug habit after getting arrested for possession of an illicit substance and entering another rehab facility in 2017. Reflecting on his past, Furlong admitted, "When I was younger, I didn't have too many people looking out for me, and I was left to run wild. I didn't know how to manage my money. I was never a normal teenager. I had a very unnormal life. I was almost destined for drug addiction." It's really sad how so many child actors we loved ended up in bad situations, but luckily some of them are turning things around. Hopefully we'll see them back on our screen someday.
Yeah, like it be, again, you gotta watch who's around you, and then people who are around these people who are, well off or whatever. You're a real friend by if this person is on it's on something. They're somehow destroying their life. You gotta be the friend that's willing to step up, even if they cut you off. But you gotta be able to step up and like, hey, you need to stop. Even if they cut you off, and things go down after that, then it's on them. But a real friend will tell their friend when they're messing up. Fake friend is gonna sit back and let you destroy your life.